This is the new Easter egg. What was that? This is the new Easter egg. Whatever. Any cable management, it's very neat. It makes me happy. Oh, the much better logo for the Big Hairy Spider Joe. Yeah, there's some of my art. Yeah, there's the old logo. There's a speaker.
Then she finally went in and I came up here and laid down and I was sitting there saying,
Yeah, you need cats now.
I said,
Gonna use your thumbs. Why feedback? How can we do feedback? Hang on. Ah. This is the new Easter egg. What was that? This is the new Easter egg. Whatever.
It doesn't work just like a telegram. It's interactive. It's not, I send you a message, you send me a message. It's, we talk. We interact.
All this telephone thing is just a fad. It'll never catch on, Zero. Eventually, it is a fad. It'll just go out of phase, and no one will talk on it anymore. They were right. It was just a fad. Wow. Doctor. Man. I didn't even finish putting my shoes on. Yeah.
Hello? Oh, feedback! Hello? Hello, Doctor! Hello, Doctor! Now I just need to stick this somewhere. Stick it somewhere! Hi. Hi, how are you? Let's see. 41 people watching. This is more people that have ever watched me, ever. I was on the radio once, but nobody watched me. This is what the microphone looks like on my head. Okay, questions. People did email in some questions. I didn't get any actual voices. That's fine. But there are some good questions. One of them was about God mode. God mode. God mode. God mode is that's an Apple thing. That is a feature built into Windows 10. The question was, will the God mode, as mentioned in one of the newsletters, work in Windows 11? And I don't have Windows 11. I don't have a machine that can be upgraded to Windows 11. I do have a virtual copy of Windows 11, and I will try that. It should work. The only thing I could think of is that the globally unique ID might have changed, but I can't imagine that they would want to do that. They would, Microsoft wants that same, when you upgrade to Windows 11, that same icon that brings up God mode, which really it's a list of all the things that you can do on the computer in one place without having to search around. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Maybe I should listen and see if I'm actually saying something. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, let's go back to this.
Then she finally went in, and I sort of came here and laid down and I
Yeah, you eat cats now.
said,
Gonna use your thumbs. Thumb power.
Okay. Questions? Well, I'm not gonna be able to see what anybody does on YouTube. Sorry. I'm just gonna answer the questions, and then I'll come back and do better. Probably overnight tonight for people in Australia. Let's see here. Voicemail. There's only one question? I thought I saw one. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, let's see here. Hillary in Australia says, wow, that's so good. I'm so happy to hear that you're doing so well in the world. Just how good you are at what you do. Well, that's very nice. I've never felt very good at what I do. For whatever reason. But Karen Ware is definitely not dead. I had said that I quit, and here's what's going on. I said in 2017 that there were things I wanted to accomplish, and I'm the type of person that never lets the goals go. I'm still working on software in my head that I had pledged to do before 2004, or I had pledged in 2003 and 2004 to talk about it, kids. I believed that free would be the death of us. Free Facebook, what didn't exist at the time, but services like that would cost us, and that we would end up regretting that fact. And then I felt that people would end up paying because you could provide the services that Facebook provides at $1 a year. Easy. Easy. I mean, just the general communication and storage of information. So, but I don't expect that any commercial services will ever take off. So the thing to do is to distribute the information. Sort of a diaspora sort of application. And the way to do that would be, I'm going to build the tools to do it, all open source. I'm not sure exactly how far back I'll go, but I'm writing an operating system for my own purpose. It'll be a virtualized operating system because I don't trust any of this. Okay, I just signed up this morning for this. The streaming right now is going over Google Fi. I guess Fiber, but it's a plan. I was able to install it this morning on the iPhone because the Wi-Fi at-link internet service out here is really spotty for something like broadcasting. It's okay for television, for receiving, but transmitting it's not very good. And so I signed up for that, and I'm suspicious of everything about it. To provide better services, they want to route all my messages through their services, through their system, and however, they're providing some services that I also want to provide. The details don't matter, except that I want to create the tools for people to build all this stuff themselves, and then whether it's Karenware or my company, A Big Hairy LLC, which thanks to your donations overnight, I was able to refile the certificate for and get this Google plan that's doing the data that you're seeing right now. I can't be more thankful to Karenware's fans, and I feel terrible that I haven't been able to fix the Visual Basic software that she last compiled in 2010 the way everybody wants. But it's a game of diminishing returns. The software needs to be rewritten. I can't change Karen's license without buying all of the material. I mean, I could. I can't legally change Karen's license. Okay. Karen wouldn't care. The people she left the IP to wouldn't care, but legally, really, she wrote the license and she's deceased. And Terry could rewrite it, but I mean, that's all details. So what I would like to happen is, for number one, stop planning. Everything I have ever planned in my life has been messed up. I cannot plan my way out of a paper bag. But for some reason, I'm infinitely leadable by the universe or God or whatever, because I'm half not paying attention all the time. When I'm not paying attention, some of the best things happen. And so I'm going to stop paying attention. And over the last 3 months, over the last, let's say the last month, there have been a lot of really challenging things going on that have been supernaturally involved. Sometimes trouble, I think, is meant to help us out. For instance, I haven't had access to my car for more than a month now because I lost my keys because I threw them over my shoulder into a field and was unable to retrieve them. Oh, yeah. It's great. But what was cool was, so it's at a restaurant, and I just would at least drink a beer there every day, eat there, lunch, something, so it's just been there overnight. And friendly with the people who manage the restaurant, and they're all joking about it, and, you know, what are you going to give me to find the keys and all that stuff? Well, like a week later, a freak storm comes up, and a light pole from the parking lot falls over on my car. It falls over on 3 cars. My car is in the middle, so it falls over on a truck. It does a lot of damage to the truck because the light pole part, you know, falls over the truck, and it just destroys the whole heavy part of the top of the pole onto the truck. And then I don't know what it did to the little car, because by the time I got out there, those cars had been towed or otherwise reclamated, and my car is damaged. It's just right across the hood and right across the door frame, and the pole was laying against the windshield and did not break the windshield, so the car is fine. It should continue to drive. But there's a big, huge insurance claim, and I, of course, don't have coverage insurance. And I can't afford to have the car towed to have the key remade because I don't have a backup key. But the car always gets me into trouble. That was the whole point. I usually use the car to go get into trouble. I can't see your questions, if there are any, if anybody's even watching. Let's see here. Oh, there's my face. Stop it with my face. If you could please stop. Remove my face from that. See. He made it! Brad Griffin made it! We're glad to see Brad and David and Rick. Rick. Way to go, Rick. So, the plan, as I said, plans are, I'm going to stop thinking about legal and business, because as geeky as I am, and I love business, I'm not a business guy. I'm not an attorney. I am an attorney hobbyist. I'm a business hobbyist, and I could sit all day long and talk about the tax implications of the LLC, and that, I want to, there are people that have helped me out, and I need to distribute all that to those people because they're going to get a big portion of the company if they help support me, their family. But anyway, to stop worrying about business, to start writing software, to write the software while I am broadcasting, not on Twitch, not on YouTube, through our own service, my own service. Oh, I also pledge not to wait to write something to get information to you, so that's why I'm using YouTube today. I don't believe in free services. I don't believe in Google. I don't believe in YouTube. I don't believe in Meta. I don't believe in Instagram. I don't believe in TikTok. Free sucks. First of all, I'm a software developer. I'm a network programmer. It drives me nuts to use anybody else's software anyway, and that's my own pride and stuff, and that sucks. But I spend a lot of time dealing with other people's software. I won't trust it, so I'm constantly messing with it. It's just easier just to write it at the beginning and know what's going on. So write software, do it online. My main goal is going to be educating people to write software. Okay, so I'm not going to produce any programming like this. This isn't produced. I'm not going to spend too much time on the style and substance and all that sort of thing. Hi, let's see. Huey Poplick. Sorry for, I guess everybody else can see your name there. 45 on. 49. Awesome. As far as who it belongs to, it would belong to me until such time as it's whatever happens to. My stuff will be open source. I can't turn Karen's stuff open source, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite the functionality. I plan on, I want that functionality, and I want that functionality across platforms, both directory printer and replicator, and all of the other cool features, utilities that, they're not lil, but by far the most popular utility that Karen ever wrote was Karen's directory printer. Second most popular is replicator. Karen's directory printer is downloaded like 1,000 times a week. Still. Well, I don't know that it's downloaded. I know that they click the download button about 1,000 times a week. I don't use Google Analytics. I'm not going to plan on trying to reach people randomly. Anyway, I feel bad about inviting you to use a service such as Facebook to get to that page where Karen's Power Tools has a page. Exposing Karen's fans to more information use by those companies. When Karenware should be able to pay to, right now there's 46 people watching. Karenware could stream to 46 people. It's not that much bandwidth. It doesn't cost that much. And I want to make that software open source as well. I will not be building a big, huge network. I will not be charging people money to, I don't know, maybe I will be. But my general case is I would rather get the tools in everybody's hand that they can build their own Twitter, they can build their own Facebook, that they can build their own Karenware. Open source tools that use public cloud API so that you can just build it yourself. And then I want people to build modules. I leave it open enough for people to build modules that they can do the storage on a basis I would suggest on I'll carry yours if you carry mine. So I want to back up my data across as many of my family members or people I trust as possible. So we set up trust relationships, and our data is sent between all of our machines in our homes, not to the cloud. We're all going to have upload bandwidth that's ridiculous. It's practically cloud. What 10 years ago was cloud bandwidth that you can get in a home, a gigabit. Gosh, 10 years ago, gigabit would cost a lot of money. But now you get all your relatives, they get good upload speed, and you put a little appliance, somewhere in the house. I'm going to suggest that it be called whatever it's called. I may sell appliances, but they'll be open source, they'll be branded, and they'll be security paranoid, completely transparent, and open source, so you can build your own and sell them if you want. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Never trust software you didn't code yourself. Directory Printer does a great feature, and directory printer printing directories is a great feature. Obviously, if you search around, there aren't very many software tools that do it. And in fact, Microsoft themselves on their support thing, Microsoft support technicians have in the past suggested Karen's directory printer, and that's where most of these downloads are coming from. I mean, there's like 1,200 Microsoft pages that link to Karen and to directory printer. My thing with directory printer, of course, is that she had created a really cool little utility that gets the information together she writes about it. You can read it in the newsletter. But I would like to be able to print actual reports that people read that's a little easier to columnate and stuff, and that would have been a real pain in the butt to write in Visual Basic. But I think now it's pretty much off the shelf. And there's a lot of .NET tools, and Microsoft is doing this NetMaui. .NET is their framework system, and now they've come out with .NET Core years ago, I guess, that runs on almost anything. And now they've built on top of that this multi-application user interface, multi-platform application user interface, something like that. So you can write a program that'll run on Windows, it runs on iOS, it runs on Mac, it runs on Linux, and it all pretty much looks the same. It runs like a little web server inside itself. That's technical, but you'll see all of that stuff. And I don't know what else to say. Let's see what else. Print to PDF. Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, print to PDF is not that difficult to do because printing on Windows is almost the exact same collection of objects that PDF does. So it's the same process, and I think it's pretty transparent through Net because there's a PDF outputter. So yeah, I mean, those functions. Of course, you can install a print to PDF software on your computer. I'd like to do print to PDF and also easier ways to export the data to other stuff. But, I'm not worried too much about multi-platform, except that when I develop the software for Windows, I want to be sure that it's written in such a way that it will be easy to move somewhere else. So, basically, no data types. That's all. I'll be talking. I don't want to bore people with programming topics. So that's another thing I want to do is differentiate all these information streams, so that if you're interested in a particular Karen's tool, you could see what's going on with that tool. If you're interested in learning how to program whatever it is this is going to be programmed in, then you could go to that. It might be a Karen Word thing. It might be a Big Hairy Spider thing. It might just be somewhere. What else? Differentiate so we're not wasting your time. Better ways to be informed of things that aren't email. Better email systems. How long have we been here? 49 watching. Now we picked up one. The annoying buzz sound. I'm going to listen back to this. Okay. There is yeah. There's a buzz sound from the air conditioning in here, or just a general buzz sound. And I have what's called a noise gate, so you can't normally hear the hiss, and it is really irritating. So part of what this project was to force myself to actually communicate, go through the video process, and do better. Because the thing is with writing, I'm kind of a writer. I'm really particular about writing. I sit and that thing that was written last night that I sent overnight, I wrote that at 11:30 last night. I'd been working on it all day. That same paragraph. But anyway, I get all wrapped up in the words, and I won't send things, and I'm worried about if I write it down and it's wrong, whatever. So I think the thing to do is to just broadcast live and not prepare anything. Let's see. I'm also running for Congress in a couple of years, the state of Oklahoma. So I need some accomplishment. Buzz is only, yeah, Buzz is only when I speak because of, well, I'm not going to adjust it. I'll work on that. I'm going to listen. I'm going to watch this back, and I'll work on the sound issues. I was smart enough to take the register off the vent this morning, so it's blowing just straight up into the air, and it's kind of cold in here. Straight up into the room, and it's kind of cold in here, but there's still kind of there's a hum or something. It's a computer behind the desk, maybe, but I'll work on that. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Director Printer is awesome. Oh, I was going to say it's ironic that the only software that I've ever written and sold just to the general public, I mean, I've written software for people on commission or as a commission piece of work, but was for the breadboard system, TBBS. The breadboard system was a bulletin board system written for TRS-80, Model 1 and 3 computers in assembler by a guy in Golden, Colorado. Aurora, Colorado, and I can't remember his name. Phil Becker of Aurora, Colorado, and I used to run a bulletin board called the First Amendment Bulletin Board System. It was the first multi-line bulletin board system in Tulsa, Oklahoma. A friend helped me with that, and we had a good time. We had 8 lines, and it was the bulletin board system, TBBS. To add functions, what was cool about that was I hacked it by modifying the machine code. Like I would modify the actual file on the disk. Not just to change text, but to put in, new routines and stuff. And so we changed the chat system where we could bump people and, do things that are now commonplace. The point is that the only software I wrote was an add-in for that was reporting, because people wanted to be able to get the information back out. So I do have a little experience with that. But it's better formatting. I mean, at least columns. Columns will be good. Ooh, it's weird watching myself delay at the back. Okay, so. You're already subscribed to this channel. I won't bug everybody with an email again, but I'll probably do this again. Hey Siri, what time is it in Melbourne?
On it. In Melbourne, Australia, it's 1:45 a.m.
Okay, so in about 10 hours. I don't know. I'll be back in about 10 hours. Thank you for showing up. Oh, here we go. I remember meeting Phil Becker. You met Phil Becker? Howie Poplik says he met Phil Becker. I've never met Phil. He's quite the celebrity in the bulletin board industry. And that was, no doubt, the best software on the market. And he wrote it by hand in assembler. I think we ran the PC version. He eventually did come out with the PC version. It was like a compact. I don't know. My friend owned the computer, and it had hard drives just laying out on the desk. Hard drives were expensive. I think we had 30 megs. A 30 meg hard drive for $300 or something. It was fun. Well, actually, the most expensive thing was the serial board that had, I don't know, 12 or 8 ports on it, and then all the modems. It was fun. Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks for supporting Karen Ware. Things are going. All I have quit is the planning part of it. I'm just going to start writing software. You're welcome to use it. And Terry and Michelle Starr own Karen's house, the actual secluded workshop, and they own the intellectual property and the business and everything. And my goal, not my plan, my goal is that a Big Hairy LLC will pay $100,000 for teddybear.com and then make a profit-sharing agreement with Terry and Michelle. I know Terry. I don't know Michelle very well. With Terry, Terry was hired to be an office assistant by Karen Kenworthy. So Terry would come in and she would prepare discs and mail the discs and go to the post office and do all of the legwork because Karen's health was getting worse and Karen had a hard time getting around. So Terry was helping out, and then Terry became like a medical. As Karen's health got worse, Terry became part of the family and was helping her get things around. And Karen was nice enough to leave it to her. And Terry kept operating the business after Karen's death and kept sending discs and stuff, and the credit card processing kept bringing in, well, Terry ended up not being able to collect like $5,000 or $6,000 worth of the credit card fees because she had no idea that there was a clearing process. No, I mean, it's been a long time. It was a big deal. It is a big deal. It's a lot of money. Part of the reason I feel responsibility is Karen's fans have bailed me out during some of the worst times of my life. Karen Kenworthy herself, when I was homeless, sent money to the Salvation Army and sent me money in the Salvation Army that just made it was like $30 or something. It made my day so much better. I don't know what she donated to the Salvation Army, but Karen saved me several times. And I am committed to helping Terry and Michelle Starr, get their inheritance out of this. If not the business through teddybear.com, and if not a sale to the public, I'll buy it myself. Thank you.